Start recording. While teaching, I need you guys to pay attention and take note so that you'll be able to ask reasonable questions at the end of the class. Now, whatever documents that you intend to build, the first thing you have to do is to write your HTML skeleton. And because we are using Visual Studio Code, we will not type our HTML skeleton manually. We will just say HTML and it will suggest HTML5 for us. So that will bring out our body. So, like I always do, if we want to create tables like this, we usually use this class is for tables. So we'll create tables for boys and girls. So how do we go about that? Like I taught you guys the last time, when you want to create tables, the first thing that you have to take note of is the table tag, table. Press enter. The Visual Studio Code will open table and close it. If you don't understand what a closing tag is by now, you should know that the slash is what differentiates these two items. The slash indicates that this is the end of this table, while this one indicates that this is the beginning of the table. So what do I do next? I'm going to bring out a tag element called T head. So T head will take care of everything that has to do with heading when it comes to our table. So how do I go about that? I'll just say T head. So it will suggest T head there. Then I'll say enter. So there was something I did in the last class. In the last class, I didn't consider tables with several rows. So one of my students drew my attention to it. One of my students drew my attention to it, and we were able to learn together. And that person was Solomon. So that was when I explained to him that you will most likely use TR, which is table row, in the head section when you have different rows. But if you have only one row, it is quite unnecessary. So what do we do next? We need one row for our headings. And the headings, we need two headings. So we have one row for the heading, and the heading we have two heading, two H, two head data. So let me explain. This might be a bit tricky. T arrow means table row. Eh? Table row represents row. It means I want to create row. And right inside the row, I am going to have a heading, a table heading inside the row. So I'm going to have about two table heading inside the row. So I'm going to copy this TH into two places. Now, what do we do next? Let me just call this one names of boys, and I will call this one names of girls. So now we have successfully created our headings, names of boys, names of girls, and it is right inside our head, our table head. And the table head only have one row. I think this is understood. So, but if you have any question, you are going to wait till the end of the class. So the other part of this table will be T body, table body. So T body. So table body will have different rows and it will have different table datas right inside the row. So for you to create the first row, you say T arrow enter. So that will represent the first row. And the first row, we have two data inside, which is a name of a boy and a name of a girl. So for you to input the data, you say TD. TD represents table data. So the first one will be Ngozi, which is the name of a girl. Now the second one will be Mavis. So I've been able to add one row to our table. So what do I want to do next? I'm going to add other rows to the table so I can have a bit of multiple rows. So like we always do, I like copying this row into different places so that I can simply edit it. So when I pasted it, you can see that what we have is being repeated on our live server. So, so, so. So now, what do I want to do? I want to edit this table data. So the first person will be Moses. The first person will be Moses. The second, okay, the first person, let me say, okay, I saw one Mercy. Let me say Mercy. So this has to be a name of a girl. So the second person will be Moses in that row. What am I doing? Moses. So the next row, table row, you can see this is the next row. So I'm just going to change the data for that next row. So what do we have as the next row? Okay, okay. Cynthia, and we have Peter. So we are going to have, okay, so we don't have any more girls. So we are going to have Emmanuel, and we are going to have Francis. We'll have Destiny. So what have we done? We have successfully created a table for boys and girls. When you look at it, you see that it is organized. That is because I placed it inside the table. So these names, these are the table body. Ngozi is a table data. Mavis is a table data TD. But this entire row is a table row TR. Everything here from row 2 to the end is table body. And this one at the top, this is a table head with one table row and two table heading. So I know why I'm being specific. So what do I want to do next? I will create another type of table where I will have uh, things like a different type of data. I'll have we'll use a column span, we'll use a row span. So how do we go about that? This is going to be a bit complicated for you guys, but I think you can always replay the video. I think you can always replay the video and I think you can always replay the video and learn what you want to learn. Now, we want to create a table that will carry more feeds, more table head, and a few uh, table data. So, what can we do? We can say grades. And okay, table. So first we'll say table. Eh? So let me get ideas from the internet. So different table data. So that I can have a table to work on instead of trying to get a table from my brain. So I'll just get a simple one because I want to use I want to use I want to use okay, I need one that is simpler. I need one that is simpler. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? I need a simple table. Simple table. I need a simple table. Okay. We are going to use this one. Okay. This is this is more complicated, but I don't have a choice. We have to use it because we are going to learn. So when you take a look at this table, this place, this is one particular row called number of students. Now, we have session here. We have morning shift. We have total. So how do we go about this? First, we are going to work on this, work on this, work on this, work on this. Okay, I go fit use this one teach una so. Let's try it. Now, so the table head, T head, we have one table head. So, but right inside the table head, we have two rows. See arrow, enter. We have two of it. See arrow, enter. So, what do we have next? Now, we have the first heading is spanning through two cells. Section, okay. The first CH for row 1 will take care of this and this. So how do I solve this? How do I solve this? Okay, I have to do it. CH. So the first heading is section. Sessions. Sessions. And sessions has two rows. Two. Which means we'll miss a data here. Okay. So the second one here is number of students. Number of students has two columns. CH, number of students. Number of students have two columns. Cospan, 2. So we have total here. Total is spanning across two rows. CH, total. Total is spanning across two rows. So that row span 2. Now, what do we have next? We have morning shift. This row has been taken care of. So we just have two rows to take care of. We have two table heads to take care of. We have morning shift and we have night shift. So what do we have? TH morning shifts. So this is co-span. Co-span. It has two columns. It's spanned along two columns. So, and we also have night shifts. Night shifts. So what are we doing? We have created our headings, number of students, morning, I want to allow me teach now. Sessions, number of students. We have morning shifts. We have the total, and the total took care of two columns, two rows, and we have so let's start inputting the data so that we can see if what we are doing is going fine. But if it doesn't work, we'll go and research about it. But I'm sure this is going to work. So what do we have there? We have one row have four table data: 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is how we are going to use it. One row, T body. The first row has four table data, TD4. So one, let me see what they wrote there. Okay, it's quite unnecessary, but let me just impute the data. So it has four table data. So what am I going to do? This one is A, and the other one can be numeral. So we have other rows there. Control C. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have about 5 rows. So 1, okay, 3, 4, 5. We have about 5 rows there. And this last one is bold. So enter. B is bold. So the element for bold is B. We also have a strong. So when you want to make something bold, you can either use B or strong. So with time, you get used to a lot of this. So I'll just add a bit of CSS so that though we have not gotten to CSS style, so that you can understand what I'm saying. T head table. So border solid black. So T head TH and CD. Enter. Okay. Now you can see that our okay. I still have some things to fix. I still have some things to fix here because our table is not properly arranged. We have a total starting from column 3, is that where total is supposed to start from? 1, 2, 3, 4. Total is supposed to start from column 4. So why is total missing one place? So let me go and take a look at it. So we have to solve this. So the first one, CH, we have row span 2. Good. So the second one, CH, we have row span, column span 2. Okay, that is correct. So the next one, morning shifts. Okay, the next heading is total, and that is row 1. So row span 2, session, CH corresponds to number of students. Okay, we have that in place. So total has what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Morning shift is not supposed to span across two columns. So morning shift is not supposed to span across two columns, and night shift is not supposed to span across two columns. So that's the correction. So now we have our table. This is a bit complicated, it's a bit complex, but with time, by the time you start solving things with them, you'll be able to understand. Even as I'm teaching you, I have not done this kind of table before. So while I'm doing it, I faced a challenge. I went right there and resolved the issue. So that's it. So I'm going to create another simple table where I'm going to merge two columns. So what am I going to do? I'm going to say table T table. I'll bring out a table tag. I'll bring out the table head. So when I want to merge all the columns, just two columns, that's a co-span. So I will just say T head. And so because it will have only one row, I will say TH, enter. Then I'll call this names. So if I say names, I can say this should span, co-span. This should span across two columns. This should span across two columns. So if I say that, then I can come down here and say T body, and I will be able to put some rules inside the body, table data. So each row we have only one table data. So I'll say Leonard, Leonard Eshere. So I will have other data. Okay, we have 9 minutes left. So let me just round up and so that I can take the questions. We have other data like Little Destiny. So we have Levinus, Elia. This guy was in the last class. Levinus. Eli. Yeah. We have Peter Usili. Peter Usili. And we have okay. Okay. I'm even doing something wrong. What I'm doing right now doesn't require co-span because what am I doing? I'm mentioning just only one table data. But in a situation where I have two table data right there, I will show you an instance just right now. So let's leave it this way. So we now have our table here. So I'm going to create another table so that I can correct this mistake. Let me say table. When you say table, you say table head, T head. You say table row, and you say TH, table heading. So we have just one heading, names. And the names will span across two column, co-span two. So what I will do, I will just bring these figures that we've already typed, these input, these names, Diongozi, Mavis, and the rest of them. So I'll go to that table and copy that table body so that we can make use of it to save our time. Okay. Okay. So we have it. So I'm going to come down here and say table body, T body, enter. Then I'll paste it right there. So if I scroll down, what have I done? I was able to merge two columns using CoSpan, and I was able to impute two different table data in each row. So this is a very big topic. You may have to do some research. So we have 7 more minutes. Oh yeah, let me take questions now. You can turn on your microphone and ask your questions. Turn on your microphone and ask your question.
I have a question to ask.
Okay, so you mention your name so I can know who I'm talking to.
Okay.
Is that Livinus?
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, proceed.
I want to ask on how you come about this tables border.
Okay,
I
table.
don't know what
Okay.
table border.
Okay, that's
Can you repeat
CSS.
it?
We've not gone up to CSS, but I have to bring out table border so that you'll be able to see the graphical illustration of what I'm doing. Now, when you take a look at this, this is a style, eh? And it's right below
Yes.
my title. So if you look at this, I mentioned table, I mentioned table head, I mentioned TH, I mentioned TD. Let me explain it to you. I'm saying that table head and I'm saying that the entire table, including the table head and the table headings with the table data, should have a border that is solid black. So that's all I said. So when I mentioned that, the system will automatically
Okay.
create these borders. So it's called styling. So you don't have to know that now. You just have to know how to create the tables right now. Leave styling. I will teach styling properly when we get there. Oh yeah, Daniel,
Okay.
let me
I
take your
understand.
question. Levinus, I hope I answered your question.
Yes, but is there no other code for the HTML that can display this border apart from the CSS?
CSS, when you need graphical representation, it means you need styling. So styling will always be done with CSS. It's either you use inline, you use internal, or you use external. So sometimes we use external. I prefer even using external. But what I just did is called internal. So I did it right inside this page. So you can also have inline. You can decide to talk to them. So when it comes to HTML, what has to do with graphical representation colors, styling, and the rest of them, the arrangement of your site is the job of CSS, cascading styling sheets. So there's no other way to decorate your site apart from using CSS.
All right.
Okay. So Daniel wanted to ask a question. Where Daniel? You don't go offline.
Life unexpectedly, and you feel like you'll spend the rest of your life with them. And then
Hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome.
My question is that from the doc type, that's the first one,
Yes.
to the style, were you the one that input it, or it automatically got itself into the coding?
Okay. So because of that, I will explain something again. In the beginning, I brought out the
Okay.
HTML skeleton. So, like I told you, you can either type it manually. For example, let me demonstrate. If I say Ctrl N, it will give me a new text file. Then if I save this,
Okay, yes.
if I save this as table2, table2.html,
Okay, okay,
table2.html, it means I'm indicating that this document is an HTML document. So when I come to my page and type HTML, before even completing it, the intelligence of the VS Code will suggest that, what do you want
yeah,
to do? Do you want HTML, ordinary HTML, or you want the version 5? So I will just click can you
okay.
see that on my screen? The suggestion.
Yeah, thank
So
you.
I will
Yes,
just choose the
yes.
version 5. So when I choose it, doc type HTML, which is the version 5, will come up with the HTML
Okay,
skeleton.
okay,
So this came
okay,
up. What do we have here? We have HTML tag, HTML. That's the most important
okay,
thing. Even if I remove this doc type, it will still work. If I remove this meta stuff, it will still work.
okay,
Because what is more
okay,
important is my HTML skeleton, which is the
okay.
head, the body, and this HTML tag. So
HTML tag, yeah, okay.
yes. So what I did was I wrote my tables right inside the body, because when you want to display something on your page, it should be written inside your
Yeah,
body. Then
okay,
I wrote my style right below my title. So because I want the system to read my style first before reading
why?
the document. So it has to be below the title. So that's just it.
Okay,
So the difference between what we have here and what we have here is that I included style and I also added some few tables. So I've done several classes on these tables. You'll see them on the channel. If you are confused, go through them and drop your questions in the group. So we have less than 1 minute left. So if there is another question, put it in the group. I will answer the question after teaching Camp 1. So thank you for attending my class. Stay blessed.
thank you very much.